The woman's breakdancer had suddenly flare up, walked into the heart of the snow. She was all alone in the endless forest. Even though she knew the sea before her was an illusion. However, the biting cold remained all too real. Hae-rin struggled to move forward. Along with it came the crunch of the snow, and her warm breath visible in the cool. There was just Seed who supported her. Turns out the scheduled event time had passed. He came to check on Hae-rin since she hadn't shown up, and Hae-rin was worried about revealing her condition. She insisted on attending to that, so he helped her to the elevator. It was a coincidence that they ran into Hyun-woo returning to the company. Hyun-woo observed their interaction, and him resting on his wife's shoulder. He tentatively asked Hae-rin what was wrong. Don't worry about it. Before he could finish, they stepped into the elevator. Even though Hae-rin tried hard to act that nothing was wrong, Jin-seem still said something was off. So he asked the butler if she had health checks. Butler remembered that Hae-rin hadn't participated in a family checkup for a long time. Upon hearing this, Jin-seem instructed them to investigate Hae-rin to see if there were records from other hospitals. Meanwhile, doctor informed Hae-rin not to go abroad because her blood cell count was too low. Her physical condition does not match the treatment protocol. When the white blood cell count is below normal, cell extraction is not possible. I don't want you to give up. Wait a little longer to raise your blood cell count. I also need time to wait. Hae-rin left the office feeling down. The doctor immediately ran out to explain. However, their conversation was overheard. It was overheard by her aunt who was receiving treatment. They had comforted Hae-rin. She has a friend named Hyun-jin. 5 years ago, she was diagnosed with cancer. All her close friends cried a lot. But now she's doing very well. She is the healthiest among her close friends. The aunt believes the family can manage. There's no sickness today that can be treated. So, the niece shouldn't worry at all. Hae-rin understood her aunt's meaning. Instead, she tried to comfort her, worried she might share this with others. What? Does no one know? Doesn't your husband know? Only he knows. It's enough that your husband knows. That's not a big deal. The aunt couldn't control her emotions. She randomly found an excuse to leave, but she felt especially sad. She turned and gave Hae-rin a big hug. Later, aunt called Hyun-woo, but the voice message said the number was disconnected. She was undeterred. She called another friend, but her friend told her Hyun-woo had recently passed away from cancer recurrence. Upon hearing this news, aunt couldn't hold back. She expressed her sorrow for Hyun-woo. In fact, she was crying for her niece. That night, Hae-rin decided to go overseas for treatment alone. I was confused about why it was so sudden, and why Hyun-woo didn't go with her. Hae-rin calmly replied that he was busy. Then she politely declined Aunt's suggestion to accompany her. She said she preferred to be on her own. She then headed to the airport. Inside, she felt very determined. She had no idea what the outcome of this trip would be. Meanwhile, Aunt sat at the door quietly shedding tears. She confronted Hyun-woo as he came home from work. She said it was enough if her husband knew. Why did you let her go alone? Hyun-woo's cost to his wife went straight to voicemail. So he decided to go night fishing with a friend. He claimed it was to relax, but in reality, his mind was with Hae-rin overseas. Meanwhile, Hae-rin was undergoing sample collection. Dressed in patient attire, she couldn't stop trembling with anxiety because she needs to go through blood extraction all first, then lies on the cold machine for scanning. Then undergoes a bone marrow extraction, but the professor notified her that they cannot proceed with her treatment because the isolated immune cells need to be cultured first. But according to the test result, it is very difficult to extract immune cells from hard cells. Extracting the touch immune cells is very difficult. However, it can wait for some time. Why did they always say it takes time? I don't have time left. On the other side, Sean watched his wife's interview video. When the reporter asked what she wanted to do most after achieving all her goals, she smiled and replied that she wanted to travel with her husband. They hadn't been out together since their honeymoon. Hae-rin imagines they would be like back then, taking walks together, having tea and meals together, sharing all the interesting stories they never talked about. If only they could do that every day. That would be so wonderful. If only they could do that every day. That would be so wonderful. Hearing these words, Sean's eyes turned red. He finally understood his true feelings. So he made a decision. Meanwhile, Hae-rin was at the airport. She saw a wide variety of people. She still doesn't have a healthy baby. She hasn't had the chance to enjoy family bliss. Most importantly, she can't let go of her beloved. So she ended up at a tourist spot. But due to wearing high heels, she directly sat on the stairs, exhausted. Just then, someone called her name. However, there wasn't anyone around. Hae-rin thought her condition had worsened, causing hallucinations. To her surprise, Hyun-woo appeared before her. In that moment, she was astonished, or perhaps moved. In short, Hae-rin couldn't believe her eyes. Hyun-woo scolded his disobedient wife, while pulling out some discounted shoes for her to change into. It turned out he heard that Hae-rin didn't board the plane. The first place that came to mind was here, because this is the place his wife loved most on their honeymoon. Hyun-woo complained that Hae-rin was a fraud. She promised him during the proposal she wouldn't make him cry, but after marriage, he cried many times, crying while driving, crying while washing his face. The only benefit of sleeping apart is he could wake up at night and cry. Since we're married, in this kind of moment, I should. I must stay by your side. Did I say not to stay? I hope you stay by my side. I don't want to be alone. No matter when. I'm really sorry. Hae-jin reaches out his hand, invites her husband to come home with her. She thought she'd find a miracle here, but there was nothing at all. I just kept thinking. about wanting to go home with you.